I used to spend hours trying to learn new skills or cram information, only to forget most of it the next day. For years, I thought that struggling through piles of notes, long reading sessions, and late-night study marathons was just part of the process. If someone had told me that I could learn anything 10 times faster without burning out or losing my mind, I wouldn't have believed it. But the truth is, there's a method to mastering new things so quickly it feels almost unfair, like it should be illegal. If you want to unlock this secret and turbocharge how you learn, stick with me because I'm about to share what transformed my approach and made learning feel effortless. The first thing I realized was that how I was learning was all wrong. I used to think multitasking was the key, listening to podcasts while scrolling through social media, jumping from one article to the next, trying to soak up as much as possible in one go. But that scattered focus meant nothing really stuck. Everything changed when I discovered the power of focused, distraction-free study. At first, I resisted the idea of dedicating uninterrupted time to just one thing. I thought my brain needed that chaos to stay sharp. But once I understood that my working memory can only handle so much info at once, I forced myself to try it. The result was insane. My retention skyrocketed, and concepts that used to take days to grasp clicked in a fraction of that time. Here's what you can do right now. Pick one topic you want to master today. Put your phone on airplane mode, close all other tabs, and commit to focusing for just 25 minutes. It might feel strange, but I promise you'll notice the difference immediately. Another game changer was learning how to chunk information. I used to overwhelm myself by tackling huge topics all at once, like trying to swallow a giant sandwich instead of taking bite-sized nibbles. That often left me stressed and confused. The moment that changed everything was when I broke down subjects into manageable chunks and created tiny goals for each session. Instead of saying, "I need to learn calculus," I told myself, "Today, I'm going to understand just one concept, like the derivative." This simple habit transformed my overwhelm into clarity. Research even backs this up. Breaking material into smaller units improves memory because your brain can better absorb and organize info. Try this now, whatever you're learning. Write down 3 micro goals you want to achieve in the next session. This will keep your brain laser-focused and less likely to wander. The third insight came from a surprising source: teaching. I used to think teaching was something I'd do after mastering a subject. But the crazy part is that trying to explain a concept to someone else is one of the fastest ways to learn it deep. When I force myself to write out explanations in plain language or imagine teaching a friend, gaps in my knowledge jumped out at me immediately. That forced me to review only what I didn't understand, speeding up the whole process. You don't need a student to try this. Just grab a notebook or speak out loud as if you're explaining to a friend. The challenge is, after you study, summarize what you learned in your own words within 5 minutes. This will deepen your understanding more than rereading notes ever could. The fourth hack is all about retrieval practice. I remember feeling stuck with passive learning, highlighting textbooks, taking tons of notes, but during exams or real situations, my brain would freeze. Everything changed when I started testing myself actively, forcing my brain to pull information out instead of just putting it in. It's like strengthening your memory muscles by lifting weights rather than just looking at pictures of them. At first, it was uncomfortable because I kept making mistakes, but those mistakes are actually proof that learning is happening. Try this now. After you finish a lesson, close your materials and write down everything you remember without peeking. The more you do this, the faster your recall improves. The fifth tip is about making meaning. I used to cram facts without context, which meant I forgot them pretty quickly. The moment I started connecting new information to things I already knew or to real-life examples, retention exploded. It's like weaving facts into a web where each strand supports the others, making the whole structure stronger. This helped me move beyond rote memorization to true understanding. To apply this, don't just memorize. Ask yourself how new info relates to your life, your work, or your interests. Even quirky associations work. For instance, when learning foreign vocabulary, I'd pair words with funny images or stories I made up. This little trick will help you stick information into your brain's long-term vault. The sixth and final approach that blew my mind was the importance of rest and spacing. For a long time, I pushed myself to study non-stop, thinking more hours equals more learning. but my progress was always slow and exhausting. Then I learned about spaced repetition, the idea that revisiting material over increasing intervals drastically improves memory stability. Plus, sleep plays a huge role in consolidating memories. I started spacing out review sessions and prioritizing good sleep instead of all-nighters, and suddenly learning became smoother and faster. Here's what you can do today. After your initial study, review that material again the next day, then in a few days, then in a week. Apps like Anki automate this, but even simple reminders on your calendar work. And don't neglect sleep. It's not a luxury, it's part of your brain's learning system. So here's what happens when you put all this together. You stop wasting hours on inefficient methods. You build strong neural connections instead of shallow ones. And you actually enjoy learning, because it becomes less frustrating and more exciting. I went from feeling overwhelmed and stuck to gaining confidence in acquiring new skills fast. And it's not about being a genius. Anyone can do this. Choose what resonates most from what I shared, but start today. Don't wait to become that person who, finally, learns something months from now. Imagine where you'd be if you cut your learning time to a tenth. What's one thing you want to learn faster? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your goal and help you make it happen. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future breakthroughs that make life easier and sweeter. Remember, learning faster isn't about shortcuts. It's about smarter, kinder habits that respect how your brain naturally works. This illegal trick is really just about unlearning bad habits and embracing a little focus. Chunking, teaching, testing, meaning making, and rest. Your brain will thank you.